10 Things You Didn't Know About Broadway. Broadway musicals are a staple for tourists who come to visit New York City, and some, like Wicked and The Lion King, are the entire reason people come to the city. So you may know all the words to Hamilton by heart, but here are some fun facts you might not know about the Great White Way. Why it's called the Great White Way. This common nickname came about in the 1890s as the theater district was one of the first places in New York City to be illuminated by white electric bulbs. Bringing a show to Broadway costs a lot. A typical Broadway play costs between $3 and $6 million just for startup costs, and a musical is more, with upfront costs running on average $8 to $12 million. And that's not even the weekly operating costs for paying actors, musicians, stage crews, theater rental fees, costumers, ushers, bartenders, ticket takers, electricity, and so on. The most expensive show to make. Spider-Man: Turn Off the Dark was the most expensive Broadway musical to make. While most plays cost closer to $10 million, this one cost around $75 million. That must be what you pay to have the team from U2 make your music, plus outrageous and dangerous special effects and wirework. Some shows only last a day or week. Many shows have only run for one performance before they shut down due to operating costs and then factor in low ticket sales and bad reviews. One of the most notable flops was Carrie, the musical, which only ran for 16 previews and 5 performances before it closed, at a startup cost of $8 million. Millions of people visit Broadway every year. In the 2018 to 2019 season, the last full pre-pandemic season, there were 14.8 million people that attended Broadway shows, with only 35% being from the NYC area. And the average theater goer sees 4.4 performances a year. Phantom of the Opera is the longest-running Broadway show. The show started its Broadway run on January 26, 1988 and has run continuously, not counting closures of all of Broadway during the pandemic. The Andrew Lloyd Webber Show has had more than 13,000 performances, and recently announced it will close in February 2023. Only 4 Broadway theaters are on Broadway. While there are 41 Broadway theaters in operation, only 4 of them have Broadway as part of their address. The rest are between 40th and 54th, between 6th and 8th, and must have at least 500 seats. Lion King is the highest grossing production. The Lion King opened on Broadway on November 13, 1997, and since then it has grossed over $1.6 billion. The average ticket price is $107 and they've sold more than 15 million seats. The Tony Awards weren't originally statues. For the first 2 years of the Broadway honor, they didn't hand out a big shiny trophy, instead the winners received a scroll with a money clip. Additionally, women were given makeup compacts from Tiffany Company. And men were given cigarettes. The Lyceum is Broadway's oldest theater. There are other old theaters on Broadway, but the Lyceum on N West 45th Street and the current home of TK is the oldest continually operating theater. It was built in 1903, and the Shuberts took it over in 1950, and it's been home to shows ever since. It was recently home to the play What I Wrote and Be More Chill.